Hello? Oh. Hey. I sound pretty good on the microphone. Again, yeah, thank you everyone for coming. We were a little nervous, I'm not going to lie, this morning with this insane weather, but we are women. Hear us roar. Woo! Okay, so it is my great pleasure today to introduce Lydia Tomek as the MC, I guess, host of today. Lydia attended the Cool Climate, Enology, and Viticulture program at Bok University. She received many scholarships and awards during her studies and actually graduated the top of her class. Yeah, right? Brainiac. Actually, I have to say, I read this to my daughter and she was like, wow, who is she? She is impressive. Since then, she has been selected as one of Brock University's 50 most distinguished alumni. Yeah. She also became one of the faces for the university representing Covey and is featured in their national recruitment campaign. So she's a supermodel on top of everything else. Lydia is currently the head winemaker at Burning Kiln Winery, which is located in Norfolk County. At 23, Lydia started her professional winemaking career at Hildebrand Estates. From there, she worked at Jackson Triggs, Niagara Estate, as an assistant winemaker. Both these experiences set her up to become chief winemaker at Hernder and Harvest Family Estate Wines for 10 years. Lydia, who is a busy working mom, still finds time to give back to her community. She built the Local Love Garden Project at her local school, posed for the Woman and Wine calendar to raise money for Grapes of Humanity. She helped start a foundation to improve cancer treatment in her community, made wine to honor a lost friend, and recently joined the Committee for Wine, Women, and Style. So please give it up for Lydia Tomek. You don't have to carry that up there. But
all right, that's cool. We might have to modify that to a steel toe boot. Hello, all you beautiful ladies. Welcome to Queen's Landing for the 11th annual Wine. I said wine, women, and style. And we're all here to support the fabulous Go Girls program. And so we are going to have a fantastic afternoon where we're not only going to experience a great wine tasting, we've got a delicious lunch coming up, we've got some entertainment, an adorable fashion show, and guess what? At the end, you guys get to leave with a little gift afterwards. All right. But first, I want to just say thank you. Whoa. Because none of this would be possible if you ladies didn't make it through that storm today. And it's with the generous donations from amazing women in our community that allow this program and this event to go on. And so with that said, I want to also give a fabulous thank you to the great people here at Vintage Inns in Queen's Landing, and in particular, one of the sweetest, hardest working Big Brothers and Big Sisters president that Canada has ever seen, the amazing Miss Michelle Miller. Thank you, Michelle. I look up to you and you're very inspiring, and without you and your hard work, we wouldn't be here today. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge a few wineries for donating their sparkling wine and rosé for a welcoming reception. Did you guys get enough? All right, I needed a few, so it was good. A few people didn't make it here tonight. I kind of made up for it. But the thing is I know firsthand all the hard work and effort and investment that goes into producing every single bottle of wine. And so these are really generous donations. And I'm so thankful, and I know Big Brothers and Sisters are very thankful that you guys came through and helped make our welcome sparkle a little more. And so I'm going to list the wineries. If you guys can all hold your applause till after, I'd like to give a nice little shout out to all of them. Colio Estates Winery, Flat Rock Cellars, Henry of Pelham, Chateau de Charmes, Trius Winery, and Jackson Triggs. They were yummy. All right, and so one more shout out, if I may. I want to personally give a huge thank you to the family at Burning Kiln Winery for supporting me on this cause and also making the donation of featuring all your wines this afternoon. I've been up for a while, with your lunch and dessert. And I just want to say, like, ladies, you're in for a treat because these wines aren't necessarily cheap. They're not really easy to come by. And some of the wines that you're having here today aren't even released yet. But most importantly, these wines have been crafted, cradled, loved by one of the baddest, toughest, sharpest, hardworking bitches in the business. And guess what? She's got a vagina too. Yep, I'm talking about this sparkly mofo right here. And I'm so excited and honored to share my labor of love with all of you today. Come on, we just went through some hell of a storm, so. And the good thing is, with a few of those empty spaces, feel free, help yourself. So if there's one thing you want to know, if you want to roll with me, we're going to work hard, but we're going to party harder. And so with that said, I want to kick off this party with an amazing group, and I would love to introduce you to the Niagara Star Singers. Now these girls, these beautiful young girls, come straight from Niagara. They range between the ages of 10 and 12, and they're taking North America by storm. I'm serious. They've already made it to sample pours there, and then after, you get to take your pick on which one of those you'd like to have as a whole glass with the rest of your meal. So I know that sometimes winemakers can get a little geeky and start spewing stuff like anthocyanins and skin contact and all that stuff. So I'm gonna try not do that with you, but these little babies are the first to come out with Burning Kiln. I've been with Burning Kiln now for 2 years. I kind of made the change since I had my little baby boy. It kind of helps me be a better mom too. I've worked it out. So being a mom's really important to me, and also being a winemaker, and I didn't want to really give up both of those things. Burning Kiln allows me to do that. It's an amazing site. It's located in Norfolk County. Do any of you know where Norfolk County is? All right, so you know Friday the 13th, Dover, it's that whole neighborhood. But that's also old tobacco country. And they're really, well, we know what happened to the tobacco industry. It kind of went, I'll be rated G. And there's all these amazing farms that exist in Norfolk with this rich, luscious soil and this amazing microclimate that is actually really, really warm. And so the people of Burning Kiln actually saw this site and saw potential that this site could actually be one of Canada's warmest climates. So where tobacco used to grow, we planted Riesling, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Petit Verdot, Merlot, Cabernet Franc. I think I said Pinot Noir, but we have Pinot Grigio too, and Sauvignon. The first wine that you have today, I bottled literally last week, and I bottled it especially for all you here today. So it's not even released. This is from the 2017 vintage, and it's our 2017 Broken Needle Rosé made with 100% Pinot Noir straight from our estate farm. A really cool thing about it is some of the beautiful ladies at table 2 actually showed up for a visit back in September and helped sort some of the fruit on that table. So that's kind of cool that they're here to sort of see what they helped contribute to. And the fun thing about rosé is that it should be enjoyed, it should be elegant, and it should be refreshing and floral, just like all of us, right? And so we made that just slightly off dry, and I really think that that's gonna go awesome with your salad. Number 2 is Chardonnay. Do you guys like Chardonnay? All right. Very good. Well, this Chardonnay was fermented and aged in 100% French oak, so it has lovely flavors of spice, and it's nicely balanced, and it's very lush. And you know, sometimes after that long, hard day of work where you just want to take off your shoes and just relax, I think this wine really goes down super smooth and super easy. And I think it's really fun with pairing with things like pastas and really rich dishes and cheeses. Number 3 is actually kind of cool. At Burning Kiln, we also use our tobacco kilns to dry our grapes. And we do that to make Appassimento style wines. Now, Pinot Noir is probably the biggest pain in the ass grape that any winemaker can work with. And I hate it, and then I love it, and then I hate it, and I actually call it my bad romance. And so I thought with Pinot, let's work it out. Let's try make this happen. I threw it in the kiln, and I wanted to achieve something that was a little bit more concentrated, a little bit more ripe, and balanced. And so that's what you have for wine number 3. That is what we call prime. Prime is actually what you call picking tobacco, so that's where some of our names come from. And then wine number 4 is going to be a kiln-dried Riesling, which is really cool because I'm sure many of you have had Riesling in a sparkling form and late harvest form and ice wine form. Well, this one's actually 100% put into the kiln. So it's been dried, it's been concentrated, and you still maintain those really ripe flavors. And I like it because it's like eating a lemon candy. So anyway, ladies, I'm not going to bore you anymore. Enjoy that wine. It's here for you to enjoy. Make your picks and enjoy this lovely meal, and then hopefully later on I'll be coming back up and kind of telling you my story. So cheers.
Thanks, Phil.
Clearing plates, and the second course is being prepared. It's kind of my time now to tell you a little bit about myself and my story. So I know. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I know we weathered that tough storm and we just want to get that drink in, loosen up, and enjoy ourselves. But I have modified this speech 18 times yesterday because I knew this was going to happen. So it's going to be quick, and I hope that in the end you can appreciate what I have to say and maybe appreciate a little bit of what goes on behind this event. So anyway, I'm going to start off by first saying that I really am honored to be your MC today. Thank you. I'm very proud, not only as a woman, but as a daughter, as a wife, as a mom, and especially as a winemaker. And I've been making wine for 15 years now professionally, and I'm sure most of you know or can vouch for yourselves, but when you commit to your career, it's not an easy ride. The journey hasn't been easy, but regardless, you have to go through life being grateful for every vintage, whether it's good or bad, because that's what's going to make you who you are today. And that's what makes me. Because I am Miss Lydia M.F. Tomek. And just so you know, that's my own middle name. Just so you know, the M.F. doesn't stand for Mary Frances, but anyway. Work at Hernder for 10 years and then see what your middle name becomes. Anyway, and I'm just joking. I love them. No, honestly, I'm thankful for everything. And contrary to what most people think, becoming a successful winemaker isn't just about squishing some grapes, fermenting, and drinking wine all day long. Today is. No, I'm just joking. But honestly, I have a theory. When I go and I make wine, I think of it a lot as being a parent, or in this case, a mentor. Because it really does take a lot of love and time and commitment when you're transforming that tiny little berry into that magical liquid that we love so much and we call wine. So just let me expand a little, and hopefully you can see the similarities between the two. Because planting a vineyard is very much like planting a family, because you start from the ground up, and you realize this is going to be your new lifelong responsibility, and there's no turning back. And you know what? You better get ready to get humbled and be prepared to have Mother Nature keep you on your toes. Because when things get tough and the storms come through, you got to keep moving forward and you got to have faith and courage, because there's no problem that us women can overcome. Good health, proper nutrition, restraint, that does the body good, but you know what? It also does a vineyard good too. Because when nutrition is ensured and a good training system is put in place and all diseases and pests are kept in check, you create a deeply grounded root system. So these crucial steps at the beginning are what build the strong foundation that determine how well a vine can sustain itself and overcome major stresses like a drought or a bad storm or a harsh winter. But once your healthy vineyard is established, you begin to see growth and potential in what you created. You start to become a little proud, and you start thinking, there's no stopping now. But what you got to do is you got to go in there and check regularly and make sure that things are in balance. Because like in life, balance is key. So how we strive to have balance between work, family, and play, us wine growers strive for balance between vegetative growth, water potential, sun exposure, and yield. Because when things are closer to harmony, they function a lot better and fewer problems exist. Eventually, the blessings of harvest will come. You put in the time, you ensure the fruit is clean, and it's nice and tasty and unique. Time unveils what makes your fruit different from your neighbor's. That special place that you call home and its surroundings, they all have an impact in creating quality fruit and developing terroir. One great thing about terroir, it can never be duplicated. And so you embrace it and you run with it, because now your fruit is being ready to be shared with the rest of the world. And your mind can rest because you did everything in your power to make it the best fruit possible. So like a good teacher or partner, a good winemaker will now carry on that effort and guide and preserve the best fruit that it has to offer. Careful decisions are made to truly capture the unique essence that that fruit has so that it can be enjoyed for all. Success is proven by its ability to evolve, to develop character, and to age over a long period of time. A winemaker is constantly making sure things are kept clean in the winery, and they're taking steps to protect that wine from getting sick. So we prevent spoilage in different ways. We use different techniques during fermentation. We filter out the bad spoilage yeast with filtration, and we build a little bit of immunity with some supplements just like sulfur, such as sulfur. And so as you can see, what am I telling you here? Every wine is just like a person. It's unique and it's special in its own way. This is why love, dedication, skill, and hard work are necessary in both cases. Because why wouldn't you want something you created to shine to its fullest potential? The struggle that it takes to get from point A to point B is what makes that gift so rewarding. Every wine and person have their own story to share and joy to bring into people's lives. We just have to be open and appreciate them for what they are. So in my 37 vintages of being on this planet, I've had my fair share of storms, droughts, cold winters, and pests. But you know what? I'm grateful for every single one of them, because those struggles are what make me fierce, hungry, and the successful person I am today. But I can't take all the credit myself, because I've been blessed with some special mentors, wine growers, along the way. You see, I grew up on the east side of Welland to two hardworking immigrant parents, two remarkable people who left their families and homeland in their late teens for a better life with literally nothing, and I really mean nothing, but faith, hope, and hard work. They never gave up, and they did the best that they knew for my sisters and me. But don't get me wrong. Our family isn't perfect, and we've had our fair share of struggles, demons, addictions, and abuse. And it seemed to have escalated when the Civil War broke out in former Yugoslavia in the early 1990s. That war was ugly. and forever changed my life. Dad the most, especially when he would hear the news. When he found out my grandmother escaped bloodshed and made it safe to a refugee camp. When we found out that his family was brutally raped and murdered during an invasion of his hometown. I have memories of changed home life where it wasn't always so peaceful and quiet. Thankfully, God gave me one strong-ass mother who didn't back down, and she fought back. And she tried everything to make sure her girls were together and safe. But no matter what, or what happened, we endured, and I love my family. And I'm forever grateful to my parents because I know deep in their hearts they did the best they could. Mom and Dad always made sure school was first because they never had the opportunity to study. And ultimately, in the end, we experienced unconditional love. We were given the necessities. We had support to further our education, and they had taught us the importance of discipline. Yeah, they were really strict. Anyway, there were many times when I would go to school feeling worried and scared that something bad would happen at home, and then I'd end up actually coming home crying because I was made fun of my appearance. You see, I was a tomboy. Surprise. I kind of liked short hair. I didn't like the hand-me-downs, but I had no say in that matter. And I had geeky glasses and a mole, and I loved playing sports with the boys. And to be honest with you, all I wanted to do was just be me, a regular 10-year-old kid that went to school, had friends, and played outside till the lights went on. But maybe I was different. Maybe I was not the coolest. I still am not. Maybe I'm not always well received by the other kids. And I ended up fighting a lot. I fought back because I couldn't at home. One day I got in a fight, and Mom got the call. And I wouldn't tell her why, and she pried. So she ended up talking to Dad, and Dad took me fishing. And we had a very memorable talk. I told him what happened, and I told him how I was sick and tired of being called ugly, sick and tired of being called a boy. And then he gave me shit. And he gave me the best advice anyone ever gave me. And he said, "What's the matter with you, kid? You wipe those tears. To hell with those kids. They don't know what beautiful is, and they may never know. But you just be natural, and you just make yourself number one, and that will shut them up. You go for the top. And I'm telling you, you just keep stunning, hit those books, and you will always be ahead of them, and they can't touch you." Those words I have locked up in here, and I remember every day. But sometimes parents can't always be there for whatever reason, and that's why agencies like Big Brothers and Big Sisters are so valuable. And when you're a young kid trying to figure things out, and there's nothing like someone other than your family telling you, you have potential, you are special, you are great, there is nothing more valuable to that kid. I went to school where we had some amazing teachers, and they volunteered and they organized after-school sports for us. You see, my family couldn't afford to send us to rec sports, and I had no way of getting across town for practice. So I cannot tell you how it was important to me to have those teachers donate their time at St. Joseph's School, like Sister Margaret, Mrs. Feschuk, Mr. Grand, taking that time to let us play, to improve our skills, and to applaud our strengths. Honestly, those one-hour activities were the best thing for my spirit, and that gym was that one place in the world where I would feel proud and confident. Sweating it out at practice and feeling great about myself eliminated any residual sadness from teasing and constant name-calling that occurred earlier that day. For that 1 hour, I was finally winning at life, and there was my teacher showing me she believed that I can do it and that I could be great at something. Eventually, when I got older, I saw how great sports were for my headspace. So I got a part-time job serving, and I was able to pay for my own sports and bus passes. It kept me out of trouble. It gave me a release, and it kept the fireplace mantle full. But most importantly, I made some friends that I still talk to today. And I love all my coaches and senseis because they inspired me to be fierce. They encouraged it. One even called me Tomek the Terminator. And I had nerdy glasses and all. It was pretty hilarious. But anyways, I thought I was the Terminator. And they helped me see that if I wanted to win big in this world, I needed to remove those weeds. I needed to fertilize that bullshit in life and keep enduring and stay strong and go that distance. So here's my point. We all need to have our own personal wine growers in life to show us the way to control our vigor, to encourage us to dig deeper, to teach us to love ourselves from inside and out. Because there will always be a winemaker, a person out there who will appreciate us for the fruit we're blessed with. Being unique is what makes us great, and we should never be embarrassed about our terroir. I used to be embarrassed, and it wasn't until that moment I accepted it and realized that who I was wonderful, and success finally started to come my way. But as a parent, I worry about these young kids today, and especially the girls. And I don't know if society has allowed them the opportunity to have someone to listen to them, to guide them, to send them on the straight path. And we all know the family dynamic's a little different now. But with both mom and dad working and all the greedy cutbacks we see happening in our school system, social media, the whole bit, kids completely have new challenges today. They're not allowed to be the same happy kids we were. And not all of them have access to the same wine growers that you and I had to help us grow and guide us to reaching our dreams. As a proud board member of Big Brothers and Big Sisters St. Catherine's, I'm confident. Positive difference, not only in their lives, but in the community as well. There is no doubt, and the data speaks for itself. Programs like Go Girls, which is funded by generous people like yourselves, teaches girls how to cope with challenges. Be healthy, be fierce, go and grow in the right direction. So, applaud yourselves today for coming here today and taking that first step in supporting such a fantastic program. Sadly though, we still have hundreds and hundreds of more girls in our own backyard that need this program. So the more donations and the more mentors that